Hello, welcome back to Heretic Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 5-1 Human Design Profile. If you don't know your Human Design Profile, there's a link in the description below for you to get your Human Design body graph. And one of the bits of information specific to your design will be your profile. Now, no matter where you are in your journey with human design, if this is the first time you're hearing of it, if you're new, if you're a pro, these messages are more meant to be an additional avenue, an additional channel of information for you. So I try my best not to use a ton of human design language because I don't want the message to get confused or confusing. So with that being said, I feel like I'm leaving something out. Definitely check out your zodiac sign readings if you haven't already. And also too, right? Because not every 5-1 is a Sagittarius or a Taurus, right? So again, just an additional source of, information for you. I would love it if you subscribed to the channel. That way you get notified whenever I do put out readings. Future me is going to be more consistent with that. So I did change up the spread that I'm using a little bit. We're doing a 3-card spread. Your current energy, what's leaving, and what's coming in. And then we'll also have a clarifier card for each one of those positions. Okay. For the 5-1 profile, here we go. Current energy, we have the 6 of Pentacles. What's leaving is the 7 of Emotions. Hell yeah. What is coming in is the 9 of Cups. Also, hell yeah. I honestly thought, actually, that this was the 7 of Swords. I mean, I'm still going to stick with my hell yeah. But with the 6 of Materials, we have the 5 of Swords. Ha. With the 7 of Cups, we have the 7 of Swords. There it is. And with the 9 of Cups, we have the 5 of Cups. Interesting. We have 2 7s and 2 5s out here. Very interesting. So let's just start with the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is that card of like receiving what you are giving. I heard that explained as karma one time. I think it was a Kabbalah class that I took. Like at one point in my early 20s, I was exploring different modalities. And I think around that time is when Kabbalah was, kind of the thing, because Madonna, and there might have been somebody else, but Madonna. I loved Madonna. I mean, I'm an 80s kid, but grew up in the 90s, right? Anyway, and that's how they explained karma, was that what you are putting out into the world is what you are receiving back. However that is, right? I mean, even if we volunteer our time, right, there's a mutual benefit that's happening there. The organization, person, what place, whatever that we're volunteering for is benefiting from our free time, right? And then for us, like, we are being of service. You could even be, making connections. It's also good to put some of that on a resume on your LinkedIn. I know, like, a lot of corporate jobs that I worked for, they always had volunteer opportunities with organizations too. But for whatever reason, like, this is just giving me very much give and take. Like, do you feel it's like almost like justice to a certain extent, but just the give and take. Like, am I receiving as much energy as I'm putting out? Do I have the time? Do I have the resources, do I have the energy to help somebody? Because that's also the Six of Pentacles. It's recognizing that you have an abundance of something and you want to pay it forward. Have you seen that movie, Pay It Forward? It's an older movie. It was actually filmed at my high school in 2000 or 2020, 2001, because I graduated in 2001. So anyway, Pay It Forward. It's charity too, right? Like I don't necessarily ever really see strings attached to the Six of Pentacles, but I guess in a way there are strings attached, right? Because there's a mutual benefit happening here. And so that could just be, with this being in the current position, that could be the focus. Like you could be looking at areas of your life and thinking to yourself, am I getting as much energy as I'm outputting or as I'm giving to this situation, the relationship, my job, my health, all of the things that encompass Pentacles, our money, our time, our energy, our self-worth, even our physical health, all of the things. And it's paired with the Five of Swords. I always see the Five of Swords as a battle of wits because there are usually other people involved with the Five of Swords. Swords have to do with our mind, our mindset, our belief system, truth, honesty. How are we communicating? All of those things. I also see swords as being the suit of ego because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to circumstances, experiences, feelings, and it becomes our temperament, our personality. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we think the way that we do, right? You get the point. So, there's generally just some level of conflict happening in the Five of Swords. Interestingly enough, there's an olive branch here too. So there seems to be, it's like you're trying to garner a truce, whether that is with yourself, whether, that's with how you are spending your time. Like if you are doing too much, right? And just almost even feeling resentful or feeling like maybe you're being taken advantage of or whatever the case may be, but it could, your boundaries being crossed. That would be what is like in consideration here now. What's up with that? Right? Even too, the reflective aspect of both of these cards, right? There's a lot of that throughout this deck anyway. The mirroring effect, even over here on the Seven of Swords. So it's one of those things of like, this is also something that I've been trying to like remind myself of too, is whenever we accuse or project, really, right? Because the fifth line has that projection field. And I think fifth lines, 5-1s, whatever, I think fifth lines are just as bad, just as what's the word? It's not bad, but like I think some of my biggest projections that I have received have been from other 5-1s. Come to find out, I'm a 5-1 also. And so it's an interesting observation, but I know that it's coming from a place of also being projected on. So it's like this cycle, right? So it's that whole, when you point a finger at somebody else, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. It's always an I statement. However you are thinking, feeling, perceiving somebody else, like a situation outside of you, a relationship, a job, whatever, right? It's always an I statement. Like, oh, this person is taking advantage of my time and my kindness Instead of that, it's where am I not honoring my boundaries or communicating my availability and what I want to be involved in and what I don't want to be involved in, right? Like, am I drawing any lines, or am I just pissed because this person keeps asking too much and I can't say no? Like, don't they realize that I'm overwhelmed? Well, no, they don't. But again, right, there's this olive branch here, which olive branches to me represent, and I think I might have said like garnering a truce, right? It's like offering a solution. Let me just Google it really fast because I get this feeling. Oops. I was literally about to type in Google olive branch. Like, I was going to type in Google. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. A symbol of peace. Peace, any token of peace. Peace, 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 peace. Even two, and I know we're even still just talking about these two cards in the current position, but it's almost even also recognizing where you have given away too much. Where is it out of balance? And that's not to say that you just need to like pull all the plugs, but there is some level of consideration here where you need to really observe. Let's move on to over here because I think that's what this is saying. Seven of Cups with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Cups is options. There can be an element of confusion in there too, because it's like there's too many things to consider, too many things to look at. Usually with the Seven of Cups, I think of like the Marie Kondo effect where, you know, there's something in every cup, right? And it's like prioritizing the things that make you feel good, because cups have to do with our emotions. Duh. It's called the Seven of Emotions. So it's heart chakra. It's love. It's how are we giving love? How are we receiving love? It's how full or empty our cup is, and also how we're even viewing it. It's like, you know, the cup is half empty or the cup is half full type of thing, right? Also recognizing we can't pour from an empty cup. Heart chakra. Did I already say that? All things that like have to do with our emotional body. And it's interesting that it's paired with the mental part as well. So again, with the Seven of Cups and the Marie Kondo effect, it's literally, you know, going through the obligations, the things in your life where your emotions are spread to. And it's observing that thing and saying, does this thing make me feel good? Does this thing fill my cup or make me have a sense of replenishment? Again, is it giving me as much as I am giving it? And if the answer is no, we either donate that to, you know, a thrift store, if it's a physical object, or of course, if it is just, you know, like an emotional thing, and you do not have to be like emotionally defined. This is literally just really checking in with your body. Does this feel good? Am I excited about this thing? Do I want to prioritize this thing? Is there some sort of obligation attached to that thing that makes me feel bad? And then with it being paired with the Seven of Swords, again, with the mind, all the things that I talked about with swords. But I always see the Seven of Swords as being us fooling ourselves. It's like self-sabotage. It's also manipulation. Because in the traditional Seven of Swords, there's a figure that's like tiptoeing away from their enemy's camp with 7 swords in their hand. And the point of that is that they are manipulating the game, right? Because the thought process is, if they don't have the weapons, then we're on top. We're handicapping them so that we can win. So to me, like this combination, it's like maybe you have been just manipulating areas of your life. It could even just be fooling yourself, right? Because like I said, the Seven of Swords to me is us fooling ourselves. We're doing this because we want to. We're doing this because, again, we feel obligated. We're doing this because of that people pleaser thing in us. We're doing this because we don't want to kind of be burned at the stake, like that the fifth line has the capacity to happen to. And it really, I feel like it just burns through energy, trying to do all those things, trying to, uphold the projection, trying to be all the things to everybody else. But here you are, like just kind of like depleted. There are these foxes in here too, and I believe that like the fox is usually, like the meaning of the fox is usually about being slick, being sly. So this is in the position of what is leaving, like literally having to pick and choose thing. It's like that whole rob Peter to pay Paul thing. But it could be, again, with your emotions, with your emotional body, with your energy, with your, and that's kind of also where like resentment starts building up too. I feel like resentment has come up a couple times, actually. There's even in the Seven of Swords, there's this bridge here. Anytime I like see a bridge in a reading, I guess maybe not anytime. I take that part back. Specific to this reading, because I've said it in other readings before, but it has that vibe of like, remember when you were like, I'll cross that bridge when I get there? Here's the bridge. It's here. So it's like, shit, like now what? Right? Like, and then what is coming in is the Nine of Cups with the Five of Cups. So something does have to be released here with the Five of Cups, but the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's having your desires met, having that full cup, having multiple full cups. There's all these sun catchers around her too, but it's like water that's going through them instead of sunlight, which is kind of interesting. I mean, maybe you're a water sign or you have water placements. I mean, you don't have to. But it's like instead of, because with the sun catcher, right, it literally, the sun shines through it. It projects rainbows, right? But what's also interesting too is that in nature, like outside, we usually see rainbows after rain, right? Because it's something with the moisture in the air and sunlight that is showing us the spectrum of like the colors that literally make up all things, right? Ooh, and I honestly I can't even tell you how many times I have seen this card, and this is the first time I'm seeing this genie lamp down here. It like literally looks like this person is underwater, but like they're not. It really does feel to me like being at peace in a chaotic world, like your world, right? Not necessarily the whole world, but all this stuff is going on around you, right? And it could be because you did start pulling plugs, because I definitely think that it is time to consider what plugs need to be pulled. I know I said, I think at the beginning here, that doesn't mean to just start going around and start pulling plugs. And what I mean by pulling plugs is like retracting your energy from things, from people, from jobs, from, relationships if need be. If all that is happening is that your energy is being pulled out of you by having your proverbial plug in that thing, but you are not receiving any energy back from it. Like, could you imagine like a real thing being plugged in and all that it's doing is charging you for energy, but you're not actually able to use that energy, right? Like, does that make sense? Like, you have a lamp plugged in, but it doesn't actually work, but you're still being charged as if it is working. No, that doesn't work. That's not how this works. So, if there are areas in your life where, again, you are putting out energy, you're not receiving it back, then pull those plugs, or again, consider doing so. It's going to make you happier. You're going to have more energy, more emotional capacity to do the things that actually do fill your cup, that actually do bring you joy, that are exciting to you. Like, this has come up a couple times anyway, but if you've heard of Bashar, there was this video that was going around of him, like a young boy. I don't know how old this, maybe 12 or something. Asked Bashar what the meaning of life is, I think. And Bashar was telling him, maybe it wasn't the meaning of life, it doesn't matter, but Bashar was telling him to follow the things that are exciting, that foster a feeling of excitement or joy in you, no matter what logically makes sense. And of course, this too is like going through your strategy and authority, because your strategy and authority is literally designed to help you enter into the correct experiences for you. So you follow your joy. You follow that line as far as it goes. And he says, without expectation, without, having a game plan, without any type of resolution or ending in sight, right? You do the best that you can in full integrity. And then when that becomes less, you just keep following the things that excite you, that bring you joy. That's like the 9 of Cups. The 5 of Cups being here feels like by pulling those plugs from other things, you might have to deal with some loss there, because the 5 of Cups does talk about grieving, loss. I think grieving is very much like an important piece of everything, because it's also too like grieving the way that you have been doing things. Why did I wait so long to follow my own joy, to take care of myself, to ask myself even what I want to do, how I want to feel, how do I feel about whatever it is. And like I said, we have 2 5s and 2 7s on here. So you might see 5s and 7s, like double 5s, triple 5s, double 7s, triple 7s, which, hey, hopefully if you see triple 7s, you're on a slot machine. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so effing much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.